Hello and welcome back to Let's Watch Out for Fireballs, Play Dark Souls, Weirdo Post Commentary Edition. Some people were, last time I accidentally uploaded the version of the video without the commentary. Some people watched it anyway. I appreciate that, and I'm sorry about that. That's embarrassing. Just letting you know, well, here I am. I'm gonna try to make out with Syrian here. Oh, girl. Your tatties. Your twin blades. Sorry. Um, but yeah, so people watched it. I appreciate that. Really embarrassing, but I've had a really busy couple of weeks, and I just kind of thought, I named the file something appropriate. Hopefully this is not too desynced for that not to make sense. I apologize if so. Um, but yeah, it's a busy week, and I just didn't get a chance to watch the video. Usually I'll pop in and just kind of make sure it went up, and I didn't get a chance to do that. So I apologize for that. That's embarrassing. That's some unprofessional YouTubery. So definitely embarrassed about that. Here I am killing Syrian, mostly just because, unlike many NPCs in the game, she's actually a little bit of a challenge. Like, she will parry you and dodge pretty well and all that jazz. So, and if you give her Artorias' soul, nothing happens. You can feel good. It's like the kind of thing you do in New Games Plus when you have no need for the souls. So that was one thing about the last one. So I appreciate. Oh, and she uses those Lloyd's talismans on you and stuff. That's pretty crazy. It's a good NPC fight. I wish there were more of these in the game. But so that was one thing with the last video. The other thing is it was so long, and I'm pleased to admit that your rudimentary video editing is actually way easier than I thought. I've been practicing with it in anticipation of the next playthrough I do with the two-handing no shield build, and yeah, so it takes a little while to export. But this video, in which I take on the township and ultimately fight Manus, as you can imagine, was originally very long because I didn't want to cut off partway through, before I had beat Manus. So, and Manus took me a trillion tries. I don't beat Manus with a bow and arrow. I have to apologize for that. I think what happened, and it's been a little while since I recorded this, and I apologize, but I forgot that I had the composite bow, which is much faster and probably would have worked in melee, but Manus is just too fast. So what you're going to see here is the run up to him, me saving Sif and everything, and then I will try to fight him with a bow, lose miserably fairly quickly. Then you're going to see in fast forward multiple attempts with a sword until I ultimately get it right. And the video was originally about an hour. Now it's probably about 40 minutes because it's super fast forwarded there. I think I'm gonna fight Chester here. Or no, I forgot to level up. Let's see what past Gary was thinking. Past Hawkeye, go. I do have to. The other thing I apologize for is the commentary might get a little loopy. Every once in a while, because of school and projects and stuff, I will kind of stay up all night and kind of do an overnighter. And this time I didn't quite do that. I took, I went to sleep, but you could only really call it a nap. From about 11 p.m. to about 4 a.m. So got just a couple hours of sleep and had this long day of stuff ahead of me. Podcast homework and regular homework and all that jazz. So I'm a little bit loopy, a little bit sleepy. Please forgive me for that. Maybe at some point I will achieve some kind of work-life balance that doesn't necessitate this to keep up with everything. But I'm not there just yet. So there's these corrupted citizens of Elysial. I like these guys. They hit surprisingly hard. So it's one of those things where they're not actually that hard to fight, but if you make a mistake, You know, they can stunlock you fairly easily. I'm just got past this part of my soul level 1 character, and it is a fucking bear. Like, it is, it was really hard. A little bit at the end of these stairs before you go into the abyss was really, really difficult. It took me, you know, a dozen tries for something that should not actually be that hard, but it was very difficult on soul level 1. I'm right now banging my head up against soul level 1 Manus because I fucking hate myself. And I do not recommend that as a gameplay challenge. Like, it is tough. And again, like, you end up memorizing these bosses, and it just becomes this margin for error thing where any mistake just becomes catastrophic at soul level 1. That's kind of the main change that happens with that. Even the two-handing, you know, build is going to be easier than that, because what it means is that blocking is barely going to do anything, even though you can get in a couple blocks. Like, I block with my two-handed weapon quite a few times. But I'll be doing insane damage with that character. I'll be throwing around the Grant, man. That thing's barbarian as fuck. But soul level 1, like, on Manus, I have a fully ascended pyromancy flame, because that's how you play soul level 1. I mean, you don't have to. Like, you can be a better player than I and not do that. But I have a fully upgraded pyromancy flame. That chest right there is a mimic, and it just contains a Hawkeye Go audio stone, and I don't use that. I'm kind of surprised I'm not going for the amulet, because I thought whoa, watch out, buddy. I thought I remembered. It's like a Rear Window. Like, I'm just watching him make these mistakes. I was pretty sure I had that, even though I very rarely use it. But yeah, I'll be doing tons of damage, whereas this Ascended Pyromancy Flame on soul level 1 is doing 180 damage with Greater Combustion to Manus. That's crazy. Like, I did a fight with him where I managed to use all of my combustions. Got about a quarter of his health down. And then, a little surprise, friend. And then started, whipping out my club, which is just a piece of shit, man. Like, it just, it does, like, 80 damage. It's a plus 10 fire club. And I thought about switching it to, like, chaos, but then I'm going to lose all that humanity, or, like, have to use up all that humanity, and it's just going to be a nightmare. Whereas Calamite, and you'll see in this video, that I think Calamite, the thing I discovered on my sorcery playthrough, is that he is trivial with ranged weapons. So I think Calamite's going to be a real exercise in patience, but he's not so aggressive. Like, I feel like I can probably dodge Calamite forever and just plink him away with my +3 lightning light crossbow. So we shall see. No? What's that? The fact that these guys' faces have essentially just exploded into glowing eyes and stuff, like, these things creep me out pretty good. And I love it when you can find one of their helmets, like, their faces drop off. And that was a good idea for a gimmick PvP build. I would like to see one of these witches as a PvP build, because I know you can turn yourself blue, or whatever color these things are. I am colorblind. And then just give yourself a bunch of black sorcery, or black pyromancy and sorcery. And wear one of those masks. Get a toxic cloud. That's a good theme PvP build. That would be a fun thing to do, and maybe someday I'll do it. Even though I do admit I'm getting a little Dark Souls burnt out. So, super stoked for Dark Souls 2. This is one of those situations where having the arrow to draw the characters is really useful, but trying to kill everybody with the bow and arrow just kind of becomes tedious. It's weird, this pathfinding caught up, but it took a moment. Yeah. Alright. There's a Steam friend got on there. Okay. I'm trying to jump attack off the ledge here, clearly. I know there's a way to do this, but I don't think I quite figured it out here, sadly. And I just decide to man up or woman up. Either case is acceptable. And take care of this. I guess there's no armor for that sorceress lady. Here's a super shitty collision detection for arrows. That is a thing that drives me nuts in this game. Look at that. Like, just look at that. That's insane. Yeah, that needs to be fixed. For Dark Souls 2, please. And if I knew that I wasn't having live commentary, I probably would have given myself the A motion at that point. And a Toxic Cloud attack, which I used to think was fairly rare, but she was doing it to me all the time in my Soul Level 1 character. Oh shit. Yeah, so I don't get that, you know, that pendant here, at least. I might still get it. I can't remember exactly what I do in this. I didn't watch it in real time to edit it, because I knew I was going to watch it in real time to do commentary. For Manus, this is ridiculous at this point. I mean, she's got like some kind of magic force field around her that stops her from being attacked. Like, look at that. What's even... I guess she does. Is it the top of the arch that I'm hitting? And there, here I'm doing a little testing. I hit the wall. Hit the wall. And nope. So frustrating. Oh, with Manus, I don't end up using that that pendant. I end up using I just kind of end up dodging his magic attacks. You know, the timing on the pendant, it was always scary to me rather than just trying to get out of the way or blocking. Because, you know, I've gotten really attached to the Crush Shield since I've learned how many things that appear to be fire are actually magic in the game. There are the barriers working against her as well. So, yeah. Another thing about this area, so I really like the DLC, I talked about that. I've never really spent any time using these sorceries and pyromancies because I ended up doing the DLC so late in the game. If there were some miracles here for my next playthrough, I'd try to come here as soon as it was available. And one, like, see what this is like at a lower level. But two, get some use out of those things. But it kind of limits your theme building, you know, if you want to do like a dark sorcerer. Because you can't go here until halfway through the game. It's going to be like my Grant character. It's a little bit annoying when you can't be, you know, actually arrive until partway through the game. Part of the reason why I like this character is because I was able to get my endgame weapons fairly early, which I always like to do. I know how to get to that chest. I don't know what I'm thinking. I mean, I knew it then too. I know. Just saying I know it now doesn't mean much. Or maybe I don't know how to get to that chest. I thought I was on the other side of this. Huh. And there's a mimicky friend. Let's two-hand that fool. And they were hiding the key to Hawkeye Go. I can't remember if we know lore-wise who... There we go, I got the head. And of course I'm going to try it on because it's creepy. Really good poison resist on that thing. Ugh. I guess I don't put it on, I just want to read the description. I don't know why I don't like put it on for a little bit. I haven't done the research for the episode about the DLC because that's a ways off from the podcast, but who locked up Hawkeye Go? And put his key in that mimic? I can't remember. So I think I knew that at some point. And the DLC is interesting too because the lore about the DLC, like, it ties together, I feel like, some of the theories and stuff of the main story. But the individual lore, like, there are more characters who just tell you what happened here. Like, Chester will just say, you know, the residents of Elysium brought this upon themselves. And, you know, Elizabeth will just tell you what's going on with Knight Artorias kind of falling and stuff. Like, people just kind of tell you what's going on. It doesn't make it worse. It's just kind of a little bit more direct than other areas in the game. So, sending back the shortcut in case I end up using that. This is the area that destroyed me on Soul Level 1. Getting in here. This is a tough little... Because you can't use any bows at Soul Level 1. So you can't do this, what I'm doing right here, to just kind of draw things in or attack them without getting pretty close or doing the free aim trick with the binoculars, which is a pain in the balls. That does not work consistently. I think that witch will lose interest in me and start walking back rather than climb those stairs. But that's definitely what I'm checking there, is to see if she's going to pop up over the ridge and throw some black flame in my face. You can see the chained prisoner in there pretty clearly. I also wonder about that guy. I feel like he's got to have some kind of story, being one of the very few like unique enemies in the game. Even though this area Gravelorded, you run into more of those things. There's a YouTube series called Gravelorded. The guy named Entropic does that. I think is pretty good. And the whole gimmick is he's playing through the whole game Gravelorded. The updates have dropped off a little bit, and I think he's lost a little passion for it. And I don't mean that to be critical in any way. But it's still really interesting to see like what... And I think the game actually has fewer cool things that happen Gravelorded. So, I mean, you can hardly blame him, but the beginning of the game, it's like exciting and dangerous and kind of fun to watch this version of the game where there are more hazards. So I can't remember if I fight Mr. Chainman or not. I'm pretty sure I do. Running past him can be pretty dangerous. I'm going to eat some peanuts here. I'll try to mask the sound of my chewing. So two embarrassing things. One, look how shitty I'm purporting myself against this fight. But this guy has insane physical resist, clearly. Two, I took way too many peanuts. And had to be off mic and just have dead air for like a full 60 seconds. Because I was eating peanuts. That was stupid. It's a good thing I'm wearing my better armor and have a decent shield at this point, because I'm pretty sure those attacks hit hard and would break through my guard otherwise. I'm fairly nervous here, because if I die, I'd ask this, if I die, yeah, I'm gonna humanity up, because that would be a disaster. Yeah, plenty of humanity. I don't end up using 45 on Manus. That was a good dodge. Finally, I think you get some chainmail. Yeah. Which is an armor I've come to really like on both my Soul Level 1 character and my two-handed character, because they're very weight restricted. And it provides decent poise and decent armor for like 6 pounds. It's very cheap. So not the helmet specifically, but the shirt. This guy has never surprised me. It's a good idea. It's a good trap, but he's never got me. So you'll note in this next point, my frame rate does some garbage here. And I'm using some extra humanity because I'm going to kindle this bonfire all the way, because that's me and Manus. Um, I think Manus is the hardest boss fight in the game. So. And I'm watching the sunrise out my window right now. It's beautiful. Someone has kindled the sun. I don't think I ever use Iron Flesh. Like, I thought I would end up using it. Well, I mean, I think I used it on Four Kings, but I don't use any pyromancy hence. And, maybe I should. I realize in this playthrough, looking back at it with a critical eye, that I don't take advantage of all my, all my privileges. Much like most straight white men, age 30 to 45. I do not take, don't take advantage of everything I could. You'll see in the next video, I totally blow doing Sigmaier's quest. So I went through all that trouble to set up his quest properly. I never go down and visit him at the beach. I just forgot. Like, there's no good reason for it. I was a big dumb idiot and forgot. I think this takes me multiple tries for some reason. I might be thinking of my no poise character, but this is, a pretty tricky little micro level. It shouldn't be because I can just shoot them. Let's see how I handle this. That's one of my favorite images you can see in this game. Those like glowing eyes from a distance. I love that. Yeah, it's that sorceress lady though that's gonna be the problem. Those black sorceries don't fuck around. Like, okay. And if this doesn't take me tons of tries, undoubtedly on the original recording of this I was talking about the time it took me 1 trillion tries. A lot of souls from something somewhere. I don't know where. Okay, I managed to clear that out in order to get the dark bead, which I think is just the one where you just kind of spray magic out. So the DLC is really interesting in that, like, the upgrades and stuff you get are so specifically tailored. Like, it's like the game realized, people do dex sorcerers. Why don't people do strength sorcerers? And then just kind of made up a magic that scales with strength. And here I am trying to remember exactly how to get to Alvina. Made a magic that scales with strength. And sprinkled it liberally throughout here. And it is kind of an interesting, very specific kind of build they're fighting for. Of course, it became the darling of PvP. PvP is all about dark magic and pursuers and stuff, according to internet videos. I still haven't spent any serious time with it. But, yeah, go down the thing, go to your left, buddy. You know where it's at. There it is. There we are. Yep, there's Alvina being a solid bro to Sif. And these creepy humanity sprites that look like John Lennon's. Like, tell me those don't look like John Lennon's. Like, animate John Lennon posters. That's exactly what they look like. So, when I first got down here, these things fucked me up pretty good, actually. And it's the fact that they don't have, or they have infinite poise. Well, that's not true, because you can hit them and scale them back, but they continued moving forward. Like, you can't block, but if you're hitting them, they continue moving forward and kind of phase into your arm and hurt you. And that kept happening. And these guys actually, I had a little bit of a hard time with them, and I was frustrated because I kept having to, like, pull out my bow on my first character who came here, who was not an archer. Who was not spec'd for a bow. I've never used this shortcut. The run up to Manus is super easy from the Abyss bonfire. I don't know exactly why that's there. But the, yeah. Hard time with those things. Nice little bit of lore significance. I would be lying if I said that I didn't think that summoning Sif was not pretty disappointing. Like, he essentially is just a meat sponge to let you heal while fighting Manus. Which makes sense, like, Manus being a crazy aggressive boss, having a character that just gives you a breather. But I wish he was a little bit more useful during the fight. You can also get if you meet Sif here before you go to the Four Kings, you get an alternate cutscene where you run into him in Darkroot. I've seen that on YouTube, but I've never actually done it. It's a cool little bit. You know, the developers, you know, definitely sharp cookies. There's poor Sif. Bye, Sif. I think I was trying to bow initially and hit the wrong thing, possibly. That's a good Great Shield, actually, that he drops. Like, Great Shield's the easiest time. I haven't made a character that, you know, has the weight capacity to use them. But Great Shields are beasts and make the game really easy. Like, if you are not addicted to fast roll like I am, and you can handle medium roll, build yourself up with the Eagle Shield, and you'll be sitting pretty. Like, that one's not that heavy, and it does, you know, it blocks everything. So, and that can be good stuff. It didn't take me a long time to put together this geography that this witch is actually the witch that's above the little pathway to Manus. And the rundown that I'm going to do 1,000 times and fast forward, I always had to figure out a way to deal with her when I run down the hole. So. There's a couple hidden items down here. And for a second, I think I was excited that might have been a summon sign, because I definitely might have summoned... Ooh. Yeah, see, he just leeches through your shield. Can do a lot of damage pretty quickly. Might have summoned help at some point, for sure. And see, like that, where you stab them, but if your hand gets caught in there, still hurts. Yeah, and I forgot that's what that was. A second white Titanite slab, which I don't use in this playthrough, but I will end up using in that Faith playthrough I'm going to use, undoubtedly. Well, actually, that's not true. I'm not going to make an item that scales with Faith. Maybe I'll start out with that before I get the grant, or have it as an alternate, like a Great Club. That a Divine Great Club will be my go-to weapon until I can go get Grant, unless I can pull off like a suicide run to go get Grant, but that seems pretty tricky with no source of light to get that far. Like, I can get down to the Tomb of the Giants, but to get that far into the Tomb of the Giants, and then having to go human while I'm down there, so I'll have to use humanity if I fuck up. I won't be able to warp out. Getting Grant might wait until you have the Lord Vessel. We'll see, though. Alright. I am going to have tons of Faith anyway, so something that scales with Faith will be a good idea. Not sure exactly where I'm going here. Okay, I figured that out. You can actually see Manus down there. Here, I think that's what I'm going to go check out. Yep. There's his glowing eye. You can kill him with arrows. I thought about doing that, like, I'm the archer. This would be the smart thing to do. Fuck, if I was in the Abyss, I wouldn't go down and fight this asshole. But I don't do that because it's cowardly. And here you'll see a very shameful what am I doing here? Why don't I want that ring? I'm looking for something that I don't have. I don't know what I'm looking for. But anyway, this is a very shameful attempt at killing Manus with a bow and arrow, but it does teach me that that's just not going to work. Fucking Manus. These creepy little suckers on his paws and what an asshole. What an asshole. Get furtive. Antler eyes. So here I am attempting to do this. I still feel like I know, not like I'm not gonna illustrate it here by any means, but I have fought Manus a bunch of times. This is terrible. This is pathetic. Get out of there. Just back up. I've fought Manus enough times where it's got to be possible to do it with a bow. Maybe I get discouraged by how little damage I do to him. Roll sideways, you dipshit. And again. Alright. Oh, you fucker. Yeah. That's, you know, about as much damage as my fully upgraded. So I think I was probably expecting to do a little bit more than like 3% of his health. Yeah, I deserve every second of that. That was so pathetic. I'm not going to beat myself up too much. He's a hard boss, but that was pretty bad watching it in retrospect. So here I'm going to start fast forwarding here in a moment through a couple more attempts. About 20 minutes or 15 minutes of them, I think. So, and zoom. So let me know if you like this or whether you'd rather just see this cut. Both are easy to do. I figured out how to do it. So here I am, sword and shielding it, and just waiting for my opportunities. Manus is hard because there are very few opportunities to attack him. Yeah. The way that I keep circling to the left makes this kind of nauseating because I keep seeing everything is spinning. This seems like a pretty promising attempt, though. I know I don't make it, but he's halfway down. I've got about 15 Estus flasks left. He probably catches me with some sorceries, which I'm okay at dodging, but knowing all those tells specifically is not my strength. Okay, we're doing fine. This is not the successful run on him, though. Yeah, he still gets me. I take off my arrow ring, head down to Manus, and let's try again. So if this is making you dizzy, I definitely apologize. I'm saying that because it's making me a little bit dizzy. Maybe a ×8 fast forward is more appropriate, or just cutting it out altogether. I'll just kind of crossfade that shit. We'll see. So here's attempt number 4, and this is the one I make it. So it wasn't as bad as I thought. Maybe I thought I did that 1,000 times. I guess it just, those near successes just took a really long time. And here I am, a little wiser. It was kind of like a fun illustration of like, because you learn things in Dark Souls, then you kind of relearn them. Like I hadn't fought Manus in like a little while, so I had to kind of remember everything. And I'm not going to do this fight perfectly, I'm sure, but I am going to do it better than that first one quite a bit. So it's interesting to kind of watch myself get better. Like here, that's where you D-lock on and attack his hand. And that's a good opportunity to get a couple attacks too. And that attack I hate, because it's really hard for me to see where to go, where he's actually hitting. And that attack you have to roll away from twice, or else you get hit with that last little bit with the club. Let me eat some more peanuts here. Breakfast peanuts. But I'm not going to have as many as last time. I learned my lesson. Manus is somebody you really have to dodge, because if he hits you, he hits so hard, he's going to take away most of your stamina in the block. You're not going to be able to do anything. Get out of there. Nope. You should always roll that sideways, buddy. Past self. I'm probably getting pretty nervous at this point. Alright, let's try again. 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 Let's try again And just one attack could definitely kill me. And now I'm just waiting for him to do something that'll allow me to heal, of course. Is this the end of Acha Gary? Nope. Manus can't help doing this weird scripted attack where, like, partway through, he has to realize he hasn't connected with anything, and he decides to keep attacking the air. You idiot. You furtive moron. I mean, switching to two-handed here. Good work. Still not doing very much damage for my plus 15 Bonfireside sword with 40 dexterity. So Manus just has a lot of resist all around. Like, there's nothing he's weak against, which is pretty frustrating. I don't think there's anything he's weak against. If I'm wrong about that, I apologize. Okay. Labba-da-doop. That attack you have to dodge later than I think every time. That very well could have been curtains. That attack is so hard for me to dodge. And then he does this, which freaks me the fuck out because I'm so low on health. And the fact that I'm using a magic resist shield. I can see I didn't even want to risk and barely dodge out of that attack, which would have been curtains for me. So, post commentary, plenty of drama. Duh. I'm kind of surprised he's not doing more magic at this point. I remember usually, like, once he starts doing magic, that's kind of what happens. There, I was two-handed, switched to one-handed to attack. I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is. Yeah. And the Green Mile gets awfully lonely, Archer. Yes, it does. Oh, I still haven't even summoned Sif for this yet. That's kind of incredible. I should do that. Good work, Gary. Waiting until the magic stage of Manus to summon Sif. Oh, there we are. The first time I was here, some asshole put a orange soapstone marker right over that, which is, that attack took me so long to figure out how to dodge. Huge asshole move, because you have to choose which one you're doing when you go to summon. And not that it's that much help, but it's a little bit of help. And sometimes you need all the help you can get with Manus. And that guy can rot in hell. Forever. Get him, Sif. Yeah, that's a problem. The fact that for some reason the wind up on that will fool me. Most times. But. And that's also hard to dodge. I'm glad that attack doesn't do that much damage. Oh, get out of the way. Alright. Good job. Oh, you're too close. There you're not. Okay. That's a late dodge. I'm kind of surprised that worked out for me. There's Sif essentially being the mascot for the fight. Just cheerleading. What cool shit you do in Darkroot. They're taking a hit so Sif can get in there and do some damage. It's a little risky because Manus switches targets real randomly. It's part of the reason why Sif is not so valuable. That Dark Rain attack, if I was smarter about it, you can actually always consistently dodge that just by backing up diagonally to the left, and that will do it. And that time it didn't work. I think I didn't start doing backing up soon enough, but that will always work. Shield up, back up diagonally to your left. There's Sif's awesome poise. He does not get knocked down. And I've gotten apparently pretty good at recognizing that attack because I haven't gotten hit by that yet. I just know having the mental energy to know to switch back and forth between the pendant and the Estus flask, for when I need it, is just would ruin me for this. I just can't do that. There we go. There's a successful diagonal back dodge for you. I might even have Sif alive at the end of this, which is a first. Yeah, Sif is alive at the end of this fight. This is the first time for me. Look at him. Get that victory slash, Sif. Good boy. Good pup. Sif is such a good pup. So I was very ecstatic about doing that because it, it only took me a couple tries, but they were long tries. And we'll listen to Dusk weep for a little bit out of cruelty. And then I'm ready. So next episode is Calamite and Gwyn. Gwyn takes me a couple tries, I think, as well. I don't beat Gwyn with a bow and arrow, even though I've seen it done on YouTube. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Thanks for watching. Good night and good luck. And next episode will probably come out next Sunday, because I haven't started recording the next series, so I'm spacing these out a little bit. Sorry about the inconsistency.